Hiya, how are you? If you're watching the video, I'm sitting in this most professional environment ever with dogs and cats behind me because I'm sitting in the meeting room at work because I'm at shifts right now and obviously I'm not working right now, it's day. So this is like the perfect professional background I wish to always have. And I wanted to record this episode, although I'm working nights and I normally don't do coaching work because I prioritize my sleep, because I just really, really wanted to get this episode out while I still have it fresh because I think this is so, so, so important for you all. So I was coaching one of my clients that has been working with me for over a year now, because she just wants to keep going, basically to have some support. So we coach probably now we coach maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe sometimes just once a month, just to get a bit of a refresher. And she had a case that she just kind of discussed in passing with me, but as she said, I don't know, this is her words. I don't know if I could have survived this if it had happened to me before I found coaching. No? And sometimes I have cases like that as well. And I think you all want to know the power of doing this work, of having this self-awareness and having so much power over what happens inside you, no matter how much of a shitstorm you have going out on outside. No, so basically, she is a vet for horses. She's a horse vet, and I couldn't equine vet if you want to be professional about it. And she was taking care of this horse like for years and years, and knew the owner of this house. And the horse has just been lame on and off, on and off, on and off. It's really old, and for different reasons, I don't need to go into details. Her and the owner decided that this horse time has arrived and they were going to set a date for a compassionate euthanasia for this horse. No, and this horse was stable in a stable where more people obviously have their horses, not privately stable. And there was a couple of people at the stables that now formed an opinion about this euthanasia about to happen. And I'm sure this has happened to you. You heard about this, where people Disneyfy the story, they Disneyfy the animal, and now you are the evil murderer that are going to deprive this animal from its deserved life and its deserved retirement, and the owner's evil, and you are just evil people all together. And now let's raise a shitstorm about this on social media. Let's harass the vet, let's harass the owner, although we don't know all the ins and outs of this. And the vet could obviously not explain all the reasons behind the decision because, you don't discuss your cases with people that are not the owners, right? So there was 2 weeks of a shitstorm going on about this, no? And you can imagine, like, in local Facebook posts, in Facebook groups around horses in the area, messages, just this very strongly opinionated um messages and opinions basically about what you do and why you do it, no? And about killing an animal and it didn't deserve it and all this, no? And this happens a lot, no? Like, this happens, I won't say a lot, but it can happen to a lot of us. Like, the typical as well, when you got I think we had a rescue cat here at some point, and it was like 16 years old and it was blind and had this and it had that, and it was decided to put it to sleep because it didn't even have an owner. So why would you? And then it just turns into this, like, oh, and she deserves better and this and and people tend to Disneyfy it, and it's really hard to stand your ground, not just stand your ground against the people that are now accusing you of being a horrible, evil murderer, a Cruella Deville type, but also inside yourself, like, am I doing the right thing? Are my reasons for this solid? Did we have a proper discussion? Could I have done anything? The self-doubt is going to set in. What are the consequences of this if they take it to the college? If this goes to the media, what's going to happen to me? It's very scary. And although you know that, yeah, they're not right, that you don't agree with what they're doing, when this gets taken to this frenzy, I said to her, it's a bit like, the piranhas. No, you got a dead cow falls in the lake, and you see all these piranhas going, shh, and that's just like this frenzy. But you are the cow in this, no, and that's how it feels genuinely when you're in the middle of a shitstorm like this. And I said to her, like, why didn't you, like, you should have, like, written some, like, this was, like, weeks ago that happened to her. And I said, why didn't you write? Why didn't you tell me? And she's like, no, because I kind of, she spoke with her husband, she spoke with a friend about it, and was kind of like, just use the tools we had worked on, no? And this is what I want to say, because I know vets that have unalived themselves because of something like this, something that was seen or said or done, a decision that was made that was taken completely out of context, and then they had this shitstorm. No? And I am not denying that this is hard. If especially if you are have 1% of doubt whether what you're doing or what you did is the right thing. I had when I had my clinic in Spain, we did have a crazy lady. I think she was on drugs or something. Like, God bless her. And she said that me and my partner at the time we were conducting experiments on the animal at night. You know, it was such an outrageous statement that she tried to like get into the, and it was a little mountain village in Spain, right, with a lot of expats, and there was a lot of groups, and she tried to get a frenzy going about me and the other vet, you know, being like Frankenstein monsters, you know, in the back of the clinic at night. But obviously it made, oh, just dropped my mic, still working, yeah. But obviously it made absolutely no sense. Like, why would we do that? Why would you like work all day and then stay behind like torturing animals in the back of the clinic? It made no sense. It was would a bit like saying that we were eating the dogs or something. Okay, let's not go down that road, but you know what I mean, right? There was so no foundation behind it, so it made no sense. So that's why we were just a bit like, well, that's a crazy thing to say, but it didn't really touch us that much because it was not believable at all. There was no doubt in our mind. Like I said, we were not torturing any animals. We were not in the clinic overnight. What was he talking about, right? But if there's something where you're a bit, slightly a bit like, should I have done that or shouldn't I? Like, if there's a tiny breach that these words, these hurtful words that people are flinging at you, if they can get through that breach, that's when you then start doubting yourself, and that's when it hits, no? And that's why I'm saying, like, I will never deny that vet med is a hard profession. I will never deny that there are situations where you're gonna feel so attacked and you're gonna feel so in doubt of, you know, not knowing if you did the right thing, and you're going to doubt yourself, and you're going to doubt your actions, and you're going to feel so exposed and vulnerable and scared, and where's this going to go, you know, and all this anxiety. This is going to happen. It can happen to us at any time, and I'm not saying it's not hard, and I'm not trying to diminish the effect of this. However, as my client and myself and other clients I've had have proven, it doesn't have to hit you as hard if you know how to manage your mind around it. If you can, you know, take a step back and get some perspective on these two like crazy cat ladies or two crazy horse ladies, right, that are attacking you, and the words they're saying, instead of letting it get through that breach, that 1% of self-doubt you maybe had around the case. Because we're not God, right? So when we make a decision around euthanasia, there's always pros and cons. There's always, I mean, unless it comes in with this like huge osteosarcoma and the leg is half off and it's like screaming in pain. Like there's a few instances where euthanasia is like it's here now and it's happening and there's no doubt about it. But there's a lot of euthanasias where there's could it have done a bit long, should we have done this, could have been put on fluids, if they have had more money, could we, you know, like last night, for example, I had an RTA cat, and like the pelvis was fractured and displaced and there was a tail pull and they had no money. And would we have pushed to do treatment if they had had more money? Euthanasia seemed the kindest option. You know, it was a gray, it's a bit gray, right? And when it's gray, there's space, there's a place for self-doubt, and there's a place for these comments and this shitstorm to land. And when that happens, in stepping back and having a perspective, looking at exactly what's happening and taking what people are saying about you and putting it into perspective and putting it down on paper. Even they are saying that I am a murderer. Is that true? No. Well, okay, so we do euthanasia. What is the definition of euthanasia? And you don't treat all their opinions and all what they say as facts. You treat it as just something they say. And how do you want to take it, or what do you decide to do with it? And this is literally episode 80 of the podcast. And if you listen to my podcast from episode 1 and up till now, you will have a lot of tools to help you with this. If you take it in, and if you journal on shit, and if you use the 3-step evaluation process that I've taught, and if you can sit and feel your feelings and know what's going on, if you use the tools that I've taught you in the podcast, you will be way ahead of most people, and you will be able to have a perspective that most people don't have. So that's what I want to say. Like, you already, by listening to the podcast, have got tools to use if this happens to you. So my client is fortunate in the sense that she's done coaching as well. And the difference from listening just to the podcast and actually then have me sitting opposite you and questioning your thoughts and questioning what you're saying and showing you what you're doing to yourself, there's a big step, right? Like having that personal support, but you can get a ton out of just listening to all the free stuff that's out there. So that's what I really want to say. Like, if this like disneyfication of a patient and people seeing your Cruella Deville has not happened yet, you want to prepare yourself, because the more people can I say this, anthropomorphing animals, the more this is gonna happen, right? Like, oh, but she's like worth her retirement and she's worked so hard and now you're gonna put her to sleep. And it's a bit like, well, yeah, it's the kind of thing to do. Like, the horse is lame. It's never gonna have a life. You can never use it. It's not gonna, even if you let it free, it's gonna suffer. So why would you do that? No? So you want to prepare yourself, and I wouldn't I would encourage anybody to take the tools and to use them, and to prepare yourself and not just be like a little boat letting the storm push you one way and the other, right? And it's like I've just finished my 12-week course, like Happy and Vet Med, and the vets that have participated as well talk about like how different they see things now. So one had like a 7 out of 10 anxiety going to work, and in 12 weeks it's dropped to like 4 to 5 out of 10 of anxiety, and still working on it, right? Because you just keep working on these things. Another vet was considering leaving the clinic, leaving vet med totally, and now she's super engaged and back on track and really wanting to change things. And what I'm saying is that if you apply the tools, even if you think that things are really hard, even if the storm lands, even if you have your doubts, you can overcome it. So what I want to say as well is that the course is finished, and this was a presential course in the sense that, we were doing 1 week of content, and then we were then coaching on that week. So we had group coaching, and then they had like 30 minutes individual coaching in between as well. And now I'm converting the course into an evergreen, which means that you can sign up for the course, and then every week for 12 weeks you get sent an email with the content of that week, and there's videos in there, and there's worksheets in there, and you can just work on it. And it's kind of one of my clients described it as like a step up from the podcast. So if you've been listening to a podcast, you kind of like been taking it in a bit passively. The course will push you to do the exercises and to learn more in depth and actually apply the tools that I'm teaching. So I am doing it as an evergreen because I want you to have access to it and do it in your own rhythm. And also, if you are a bit hesitant to the coaching, because I understand that getting on screen with me and sitting there like, well, what's going to happen? What's she going to say? And what if she thinks I'm an idiot? It can be off-putting. It can be scary. I felt really nervous the first time I got on with my coach, and I was like really defensive, and I was like, oh, hopefully I didn't want them to criticize me. I didn't like getting feedback. I was nervous about them thinking I was an idiot. And now I'm happy to be coached. And I can get coached on anything. I don't care if people share the videos of me being coached. It's fine. But it's when you haven't done it yet, it's like it's weird. It's a bit weird, right? It's weird. Getting on like a Zoom call or with a stranger, and then just like telling them everything that's going on for you. So the course is like a step up from the podcast, but it's not as intensive as having coaching directly. So I want to offer you that's there. And if you want to give yourself a Christmas gift this year, or if someone asks you, what do you want for Christmas? Like, get the course. It's only going to be $199 because like it's out there. I'm not going to work anymore on it. I'll probably keep adding stuff to it because as I get ideas, as I read new books, I will put this. So each week has also got like book recommendations. So if there's anything, for example, boundaries, or you want to go more into time management, or whatever your thing is, then there's also book recommendations. So if I read a new book, I will add that to the course. Or if there's a case that I feel is super relevant, then I'll just keep adding it. And once you sign up, you're gonna have lifetime access to it. So each week is like a Google Doc with all the links and all the videos in there, and you can just like do it again and again. So I was just talking to the last vet that's just finished the course, and she was saying like, I'll probably go through it again. She still hasn't done the week with time management and the week with boundaries because she's doing it a bit on her own rhythm, and that's fine as well, right? You can get the material sent every week, but you don't have to do it every week. You can just come back to them as and when it's needed. No, so basically, like what I teach is I teach the model, I teach, how to feel your feelings. I teach, a lot about boundaries, pe other people's opinion about us, which is like so relevant with this case, for example, with the horse, right? Like, are you a vet? Are you a bird? Or are you Cruella Deville? Like, people's are like the whole week just on other people's opinion about us because it's just such a big thing in vet med, no? And like time management, so in the clinic, out of the clinic. And then I have done the last module on leadership because I truly believe that vets are leaders always, because even if you're in this shittiest little clinic and you only work 3 times a week and you don't really have any other stuff than a receptionist, you still have to lead that receptionist and you still have to lead your clients and consults. So I've done a whole week on leadership. So at any level, that would be helpful as well, what else? The boundaries is a big thing. Our relationship with the owners. Um, there's 12 modules in there, and there's videos, worksheets, book recommendations, and I think I'm just gonna keep loading stuff up there. And then if you do the course and then you want help, then you are more than welcome to obviously then apply for, one-on-one coaching with me. I might do a group coaching again. It's just difficult to get a bunch of people together at the same time, especially when you're all in different countries. So individual coaching is just easier. And if you have purchased the course and then want to do coaching, then I will take the price of the course off the price of the coaching, because now when you sign up with coaching with me, I'm just going to give you the course for free, because then you have like a structure, you have all the materials with you, so you can kind of like learn, apply, get coached. That would be the ideal package. If you really want to go out and treat yourself for Christmas, I would totally like buy a one-on-one package coaching with me, which is like 3 to 4 months coaching almost weekly, where we meet for 50 minutes at a time. And then, you go through the course at the same time and do the videos, do the worksheets, and then you come with me and we get coached on it. No, and like I say, it's not like in school where every week you have to present your homework. Like, this is just something you do in your own time. So one of the vets in the course, all she wanted to do was focus on time management. And I think that's the only module she's done. And then she's just come to the call with whatever was going on for her at that time. And half the time it hasn't even been time management. It's been like, issues with co-workers and stuff. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you come to me with like a huge fear of going to work, or if you come to me like, I just can't get organized, I just can't, I seem to leave work late and I just don't know how to organize my day, or you come to me with boundaries, whether it's boundaries towards the owners, or you are a partner in a clinic, which one of my clients is, she's a partner in the clinic and she needs to set boundaries with her partners to try and organize it, or boundaries for owners, or boundaries at home. And then we can work on that. But you can totally come one day and then have an issue where you've been called murderer, Cruella Deville, and then we coach on that. And then we use the how to manage other people's opinion about us and so on. So no matter what you get coached on, you're gonna apply that to everything else in your life, in and out of work. And this is what I've seen happen as well, is that a client maybe gets coached on boundaries in the clinic and is like really hot on that, and suddenly they come back and they're like, and actually for the first time I set a boundary towards my mother-in-law and they didn't like it, but I was okay with it and we're still friends, like, because then you apply it to your private life as well, because everything we do is coming from one place, which is the brain. So that's what I definitely want to recommend. Like, if anybody asks you what you want for Christmas, if you want to gift yourself something for Christmas, either the course, if you want to start out, just start applying the tools from this podcast and everything I do, or if you want to go all in and like, this is the year that I'm going to love it, I'm going to love my life, then sign up for my one-on-one coaching package and gift yourself that for Christmas. And then we can just start probably in January, because I think Christmas is probably not a good time to start, because so much is going on and we have family and I'm going to be busy as well. But we can for sure have the consultation. So when you want to sign up for one-on-one coaching, I always say, let's meet first so you can see what it's about, see if there's chemistry, because we also need to like have a bit the same sense of humor. You need to be a bit like open to my questions, and sometimes it just doesn't work because there's no chemistry, and that's fine. And then I just give you 3 or 4 tools to work on, and then you're on your way, and then you just apply them in the material. But if you love that session, that 50-minute free consult session, then we do that, and then I tell you, well, this is what you could work on, this is what you could do, and then I send you an email and I say, well, this is the price, this is what you could do, and then if you want to sign up for me, this is like the payment link, and then we set up our first appointment together, our first coaching session together. So you can for sure book that consult before Christmas. So you kind of have it in the back, and then you can be really excited about starting in January to feel better. Like I get excited about it because, and I think I get more and more excited about it the more people I coach because I see this in them, right? There are people that come with panic attack, with 10 out of 10 anxiety, with no boundary setting, like stressed out of their minds, wanting to leave vet med. Just everything is just like chaos. And by the time we finish coaching together, it's like it's calm, people come on, and in the course, the last, I think, 2 or 3 sessions I had with everybody, they've just been saying, and now I do this, and before I used to do that. And now this has definitely helped because now, and they can just like in 12 weeks, you can see such a difference that it blows my mind. And I feel like a lot of you are better vets than me. A lot of you are doing things that, like, I'm not an equine vet, so I can't like coach on specific equine stuff, but you're all just so brilliant. But there's one thing I can do, and I can see how your brain works. And I can tell you where you're beating yourself up, where you don't need to beat yourself up. And I can see where you are just like bouncing against the same obstacles over and over, and where you're like letting things affect you in a big way. And I'll just give you an alternative to how you can let things affect you. So that's what I wanted to say. So if you even just like re-listen to all my podcasts, this is episode 80. You got 80 episodes to go through. If you haven't listened to them all, I would definitely recommend that. And if you want to step up, then sign up for my 12-week course and just do it on your own rhythm. Like, and you're gonna have lifetime access to all that, and I'll keep like supplying it with stuff. And if you want like the extra step up, then sign up for coaching with me and get your free session in before Christmas. And then we start in January or we start in February, depending on when it's best for you. And also you have to take into account that I know a lot of people, like when they come to coach, they were like, I don't know why I didn't do it before. Like, it's like we wait for this perfect moment. This is not the moment because now I've got a lot going on and now I'm really busy and this and the other. And we find all these reasons for not starting. And I can say from my own experience and from all my clients as well, like there is no perfect moment. It's like waiting for the perfect moment to have a baby. There is no perfect moment. It's just always going to be a mess, right? But coaching, it's literally just an hour you have to set up a week and I'm super flexible with times because I'm flexible myself. Like my life is very flexible, and it doesn't have to be every week. We could do every other week or depending on where you're at. And in between you get written coaching as well. So even if like say we meet the first week and then we just can't match the second week to get together, then that week you can send me a message on email whenever you're on the loo. You're like, I'm in this situation, this happened, and then I'll respond and give you another perspective. And then we meet again on the third week and so on, right? So we make it fun as well. You can ask any of my clients. It's super fun. It's nothing serious. It's literally just like I'm sitting here talking to you now. If you see on YouTube, that's what you're going to see, with a much less professional background, probably, because I'm always sitting somewhere random. And I am really super into this. And I know I'm riffing a lot about it right now, but I really, really feel that this is the greatest gift you can give to yourself. There's no money, no jacuzzi, no holiday that will make you as calm and happy and grounded and so much in control of your life as coaching will do. And I stand by that 100%. And I can't wait for the reviews to come in for my course that I'm gonna send out the questionnaires for the people that we're finishing this week. And I'll put the reviews up there so you can see it as well. And I really hope you sign up for the course. And I'd love to meet you in a free session. And you know what? If you sign up for a free session just to see what coaching is about, but you're not sure if you want to do the package yet, that's absolutely fine as well. Because for me, every time I meet someone new, I'm like, oh my God, that was so funny that their brain did that, because I hadn't thought that brains could even do, like we're all so different. And I love, so for me, it's a huge gift to be able to meet someone and talk for 50 minutes and see how your perspective is, because it also gives me ideas for more podcasts, for more posts, for more ways to help you guys. So it's a win-win either way. So even if you don't want to sign up for a whole package right now, like that free one-and-off session, you can give yourself that before Christmas. I'll fit you in, and then I'm not gonna like tell you, oh, you need to like coach with me, you have to do this thing. Like I'm just gonna like send you an email and leave it up to you with the tools and the prices and that. So there's no pressure, okay? So that was that. I'm gonna put the link for both the free session and for the 12-week course, which is now out as an evergreen, and you can sign up and you can pay. And as soon as you pay, you're gonna get the first week's course in your inbox and you can start straight away. So I'm gonna put those links in the show notes, and I'm so excited to see what this Christmas this new year brings us and how many new people I'm going to work with. I'm going to be really sad actually to say goodbye to the people from the course. So some are maybe continuing with me on a one-on-one, and but some have gotten what they needed and they don't. So that's always sad to say goodbye to clients. I tend to like meet them, on social media, and I tend to give them like a free session here and there. I just like to see how they're doing because I love just seeing the evolution of the brain and how they are coping. No? But that was it so far. And if you don't listen to my next couple of episodes because you don't have time, then I wish you a Merry Christmas and a really Happy New Year. Bye.